What's up, guys? I'm Justin Swanstrom. We are back from South Georgia Motorsports Park. We are back home. Took us a couple days. That race there is very long, very tiring. You are running around all day, every day, and plus me doing the foot races at night. I did go 6-0. I was putting my Blvds on and I was giving them the business. But we're back here at home. We're gonna actually pull Twisted Tea out of the trailer, stuff her inside the garage, because I'm gonna be explaining what's gonna be happening with our race deal here in the next month or so. So let's go ahead, let's pull the car out of the trailer, let's stuff her inside the garage, and then start giving y'all some details of what's gonna go down on the channel and how exciting stuff is about to be. All right, guys, so we got Twisted Tea out of the trailer. South Georgia was a success. Taking the car up to Kevin Mullins, putting it on the hub dyno was a success. Getting seat time inside the car was a success. I'm getting more comfortable in the car, doing burnouts, how to stage it, get it going. It's going faster. We only got to go 120 60 foot, but we're gonna go faster and faster. Big Country helped me out, my dad. We are teaming up with Kevin. He is helping us out, giving us some details and ideas, and we're just been playing around with it. We were gonna go test this Thursday, but they have NMRA down at Bradenton Motorsports Park, and in Orlando, they have the World Street Pro Mod or some shit like that. So there's nowhere for us to test right now for this week. With that being said, I had to send my helmet off to Texas, Simpson, so they could put a fresh air system inside the car. Fresh air is kind of like a CO2 bottle. Basically, you turn it on, I crack the valve open, and it puts air inside the helmet, because with the alcohol and everything, the fumes, it's hard to breathe. You probably will start crying. If you've seen in the previous video, whenever I made it through the 8th mile, I picked my visor up, and not even 3 seconds later I threw it back down because it was just choking me up. And the Radial vs. the World and the No Prep King car, that car is going to be 10 times worse. So went ahead, sent my helmet off, getting a fresh air system installed, already ordered the Simpson bottle and everything. Cameron Johnson and the guys, they are working very hard to get that car done. As of right now, we are on schedule. If you've seen some of my posts on my other social medias, or I have talked about it in previous videos, we are on schedule to pick the car up from Cameron's shop March 19th. That is powder coated, everything 100% done. March 19th. We are going to turn around. We're going to drive all the way up to Mooresville, North Carolina, Modern Racing, to drop the car off on the 20th. They will have the car 1 week to be able to wire the car, get everything situated, fired up. We will be throwing it on their hub dyno there. We'll be getting Steve Petty, Eric Diller from the Proline crew to head on up there, help us out on the hub dyno, get a half-ass tune-up to be able to take it to the racetrack, because we're coming back home that following weekend, and we basically have 1 week to get ready for the race. Everybody knows that they're postponing the NPK first couple races so far. They've already moved the Virginia race. We're getting word that they're going to move the Florida race. So we have decided to switch gears. I'm not going to let the car sit. We are too invested into it. We're going to go run RVW. Radial vs. the World. That's against the best of the best. Stevie Jackson, Melanie Salemi, JR Gray, David Reese. You got Jason Lee. He's the one that just won Radial vs. the World at South Georgia Motorsports Park. You got Markowitz. There's a lot of big, heavy hitters. Jack Green, Marcus Burt, in RVW. So I feel that my team and I are a heavy hitter as well. We're only going to know once we go out there and try to kick these boys and girls in the mouth. So the goal is to get the car picked up from Cameron, drop it off for wiring, pick it up a week later after it's wired and on the hub dyno, and then bring it home. That gives us 1 week to set up the chassis, go through the whole car, make sure everything is tightened up, and we got some cool tricks that we're going to show you that I've learned from the Proline crew on what they do on their builds to make sure that everything is tightened up, everything is done, and what kind of checklist we're going to need for the racetrack. Because April 1st through the 3rd, we have to go up to South Georgia Motorsports Park again so we can run Sweet 16 in RVW. It's going to be a minimum person count up there. Usually they only sell like 500 tickets, 1 or 2 classes. Last year they had RVW and Pro 275. There's however many cars get in the field. It's $2,000 entry, so I have to pay $2,000 to get into the field, and they only take the top 16 cars. So it's going to be a very tight field, very fast, but I think with my crew and Steve Petty and the whole Pro Line crew behind us, I think we're going to do good. So that's the ultimate goal right now. That's the plan. Let's see what everything's going on. Let's go ahead, throw Twisted T inside the shop, and show y'all a little bit of the progress on the prenup build, the Street Outlaw No Prep Kings and / RVW.
He ain't going through that.
Oh shit, he's not going through that.
Dude.
This stream will not hold nothing.
All right, go ahead, Ian. $50.
He comes in, he'll go right through that bar.
Holy shit! Todd, you gotta go on the roof.
Ian, you're supposed to jump over the thing.
Feel a little cold right now. We're still having a little issue with it keeping a prime on the motor.
So I think I'm gonna put a primer pump on this deal. What's happening is the fuel out of the fuel rails is just draining back down into the tank. So the first initiative startup is a little bit longer, a little bit harder. If I was to cut the car off right now and start it back up, it will go ahead and it'll fire up in 2 resolutions because we have prime, we have alcohol inside the fuel rails. But since this car is going to be sitting for the next couple weeks because we got prenup coming out, I got stuff being sent off, a new race suit coming in, we're going to go ahead and show y'all what they showed us to be able to make sure the injectors, nothing dries out, anything bad happens. When we go back out with Twisted T again to the track, we're ready 100% to let it rock. I don't know if y'all can see out there, boys, but you see how we don't have the big fuel coming out of the motor no more? Kevin's got us sitting right. We're idling very well. He's getting us set up. We're playing with the tune-up. We're getting faster every single pass. So it's going in the right direction. This thing's getting better. Easy peasy. Twisted T is up inside the shop. We're gonna go ahead, pop the hood off, show you what, damn, I almost ran over my carbon fiber. You know, like a year ago, I would tell you I was that good and I meant to do that, but I almost ran it over. Whole sheet of carbon fiber there and laying on the ground. But here's the wheels that will be going on prenup. We got a pair of 15 by 14 with a 1-inch backspace, Sanders wheels. Already got hooked up with Marty, just called him up, having him build me a second rear end because the big tire rear end is too short
to be able to run these wheels. The wheels would be suck in like 6 inches, and we just can't go out there looking like that. So Marty said he's gonna get me a new rear end. He's gonna get it sent out to me. We gotta order another set of axles. We're gonna be cutting it close, getting all this stuff done. But I believe the people that are behind me in my corner are gonna be able to knock it out. So it's gonna be awesome to be able to get the radials on the car. That 315 tire, look how big that is. Looks awesome. See what old prenup runs. The centers are removable. I do got to put those back inside the car. I don't really have no expectations of what it's gonna run or how fast it's gonna go. I guess we'll just have to see how it is. I'm sure the first outing is gonna be a learning curve. Some things are gonna go wrong, but having Steve Petty there, having the Pro Line crew, having my dad, having Big Daddy Brian, Art, Eric, Tony, all of them, we're gonna get it figured out. And being a Sweet 16, you're probably gonna get like 8 or 10 qualifying passes. So there's gonna be a lot of hits on the car, and we'll get to see what its strengths are and what its weaknesses are. But before we go out and run any more events, so I'm excited for it. It's been a long time since I've been in a fast car. When I say fast, like 360s, 370 car. If you see the combinations out there, the Pro Charger combination, actually I'll drop some videos right here of some cars that have the same combination that the Lexus is gonna have in. I think they can go just as fast as those cars is. So, but I'm not gonna go ahead and talk off right now because I honestly, I don't know. It's a new car, new power plant, new transmissions, new rear gears, new wiring system, new tuner. Everything is new about it, but I'm optimistic. I love going out there, learning new stuff. Me and my dad, we're gonna learn it. We're gonna figure it out, and we'll see where this leads us and where it goes to. But let's go ahead and pop this hood off. We need to fill the fuel rails up with WD-40 because this runs on alcohol. If it's sitting in here for a couple weeks, and no different than I got to do with the Pro Line build as well, the alcohol will eat up the gaskets and the O-rings inside the injectors, inside the fuel pumps, anything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the lines off. We were told to just fill the fuel rails, fill everything up with WD-40, close it back up, and you'll be okay until you go to use them again. So this car will be sitting a couple weeks because I'm waiting on a helmet, waiting on a new suit, and there's really nowhere to test for the next 2 weeks because of all the racing that's going on close to home. So whenever we do go back out, we'll be able to fire this bad boy back up. We'll be able to put a healthy tune-up inside her and go out there and make another rip down the track. All right, boys, so we got the hood off the front of Twisted T. You can see the badass TKM power plant down inside there. The next outing that we go to, we will be letting you know the times with the car, so you can see how she's performing. She's running very well right now, but she's only gonna get faster. We made 3 passes in Georgia. We got faster every pass, and we're gonna continue to get faster. We're gonna see what this combination will make maxed out. Already got with Kevin. We're already in the talks about talking about a stage 2 motor. Y'all seen that in the dyno video when we were down there. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and let Twisted T sit for a few weeks because, like I said at the beginning of this video, racing around here is kind of slowed down for a minute, just to the fact that they got a couple big events coming into town and we're going to be going to watch. And we will be taking the race rig over to Cameron Johnson Race Cars here in a few weeks because we have to pick up prenup. That is the Street Outlaw No Prep Kings build when we will be running Radial versus the World. So with that being said, what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go ahead and take the fuel lines off the fuel rail. I got my WD-40 and we're going to fill the whole fuel rail up with WD-40. It allows it to sit down inside the injector. It just doesn't allow nothing to dry up. We will then clog the lines back up, plug them back in, and just let her sit here. So whenever we do decide to take Twisted T back out, we're able to not have no issues. It'll fire right back up. One thing I do want to put on this car is a primer pump. As you can see, remember how I was telling you how it loses prime? It just drains into the fuel regulator, and then this one goes back down into the filter. But this car, when it does sit overnight, or if it sits for a week, it loses prime, and it's very hard to fire up. So let's go ahead, pop these lines off. Let's blast a bunch of WD-40 down inside there, close it back up, and we should be good for a few weeks. Okay, I'm the one out here videoing, boys, and trying to do the work at the same time, so I do apologize if the camera's a little shaky. Having the GoPro Hero 8, it does help me out a lot. We are about to upgrade to the Hero 9, but one thing I didn't talk about, and I was very excited that it worked, was having the shop vac and the blowers at the racetrack to be able to cool this motor down. When we first went out with this thing, we were making hot lap after hot lap, and everything was just getting hot on it, and even though we were throwing more power on it, it was slowing down just because it was so hot. But now that I got the shop vac and I'm able to suck out one side of the valve covers and then flip it over and suck out the other side, the motor cools down in like 10 minutes. We take the little fans, we stick them up underneath, right underneath the training pan. We will be putting a training cooler on this thing later down the road, but for right now, doing that. And every pass that we made, even though it was only 3, we were able to go out there with less than 100 degrees in the motor. I don't know what the training temp is due to the fact I don't have a transmission temperature sensor on it, but by feeling it and everything, it wasn't hot. So I was excited with that. Having to drive it back to the pits, this thing got up to about 195, 197. So we are going to be getting us a golf cart to be able to change that as well. Man, we need to cut them tree limbs. I was very excited about that. My driving inside Twisted Tea was awesome. I felt like I did a good job, and it's working good. Let's go ahead and pop these fuel lines off real quick. See, this is what I was talking about, boys. You see how I just fired Twisted Tea up? I drove her in here. I feel there should be alcohol coming out of here. There's not. So that's why I say it loses its prime. And then that's why you have to crank it up and turn the motor over so much to be able to get this thing fired up. So it basically is just losing its prime for the fuel going down in the fuel rails. But we're gonna get that fixed here soon. But let's go ahead and take our WD-40, fill her on up. All right, so now that we got it filled up, there's our WD-40. We will be using that on the Pro Line motor as well, because I just don't want to have no issues. The injectors, they cost a lot. And to be able to send those back to Jack to have them fixed, because either the O-rings are dried up or they went bad, we're just trying to prevent further maintenance later on down the road. That's one thing we will be doing with both builds and getting everything situated. So anyways, now that we got that done, this thing can actually just sit here. It does plan on sitting here for the next couple weeks, but I want to go ahead and show you some of the clicks. I got Cameron over at CJRC. He went ahead and made some time-lapse videos of the guys working on the rear end, working on the chassis and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and drop those in right now. They're helping us out. They're getting that thing done. It's coming out beautiful, guys. We will be shooting a video later on this week because the car comes off the chassis jig table, and we're able to get it car rolling on the ground. I'm so excited to see what this car is going to look like on the ground, especially with our 17-inch chrome RC front wheels and our rear wheels that'll be going on this thing to run Radial versus the world. Also, Cameron Johnson has officially started a YouTube channel. I've been on him for the last year to start one. He finally came to me. I do apologize for the compressor in the back, even though that's probably one of the quietest compressors I've ever heard. He finally came to me. He asked me if I'd help him out by starting a YouTube channel. So we got everything linked up, connected, and we posted his first video. We are already over 600 subscribers, boys. So make sure you look at the link in the description down below. Go over to CJ Race Cars, smash that subscribe button, turn that notification on, and let's go ahead and get them up to 1,000 subs, and let's keep on growing. I will be over there. I will be shooting the videos. I will be editing videos, and I will basically be controlling the channel of getting their stuff out there, all their parts and everything about it. So you'll see me in a lot of the videos, and Cameron Johnson and all of them. They're a little shy at first, but I was when I started this channel. Now I have talked in front of a camera for the last year and a half. I've gotten a lot better, but there's always room for improvement. I always say that you're never too good for anybody or anything. So Cameron and them, congratulations on the new YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go smash the subscribe button. Don't make me have to come take your dog. I will. If you don't go over there and subscribe to the channel, I will come to your house and I will take your dog.